on the screen. Okay, so we're in business.
Got it on the screen.
The ones at the top are strictly bibliographies, which is simply a list of the books for studying, and they go from this very old classic by Wilbur Smith back in '63, all the way up to some in the early 2000s. And those are just a list of recommended books by the various writers of these books. Sometimes, as in the first one, there's a little bit of discussion, a sentence or two about the nature or the quality of the work. And most of this information you could Google on internet, asking for recommended best review of top 5, 10, whatever, of any category that you wanted, the commentary on a book, a Bible dictionary, and you'd get most of these. But this annotated guide that's at the very top, if you could spend a few bucks and get that as a used book, it would be worth having. The second one, the multi-purpose tools for Bible study, covers not only some of the books, but some of the other things. And that would be worth getting. The others are more specific, as in New Testament commentary, survey, that kind of thing. On the bottom of the page, there are guides to Bible study. And I highlighted in the note that I sent you today this Effective Bible Study by Voss. And then I added one in the note that I sent you about Learn to Study the Bible. Both of these have what they call various methods. This newer book has like 40, but of course, what they're doing is the same, some of the same kind of thing we're going to do here, study it by character. And so they can take 5 chapters and you can study it by book and study it by paragraph and study it by sentence and study it by word and that kind of thing. But those 2 books have some very interesting discussions about paying attention to what you're reading, not just the resources, but what the process might be. And there again, you can get even this old one as a used book for $5 to $10. And they're worth having just as a prompt to keep you involved in a Bible study if you're not involved in one on your own. The main thing I wanted us to do this evening was to look at these online sources. So let's see if I can do this. See if this is the one I want. Well, nothing's come in yet. Well, it says you can see my screen, but I'm still seeing this. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. And that's not the one I want first. Um, because what I wanted to look at first was the more common, more readily usable ones like Bible Gateway. That's this one. Here we go. Now that came up for me, but it didn't come up for you, did it?
No, it didn't.
Okay, let's see here. Well, for some reason, I've got this screen wanting to be in my way. Okay, let's try this. No, that's not what I wanted either. Well, let's go ahead and do this one then. This is the second set of, this is the Bible programs, the Bible study programs. Can you see this? Well, now it says it's paused.
No. Nothing yet. Waiting on your screen to share.
Well, let's try again.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, are you getting it now? Well, it's disappeared from my screen now, so I'm not going to be able to control what I want to show. Well, now this is not letting me show anything here.
It shows Luridian Bible software. That's what's on the screen.
So what was the name of it?
I think it's pronounced Luridian.
Yes, Luridian, that's the one I want. But as I said, it's not showing. Let me see if I can get it. My controls are here, but it's not showing my screen. So I can't see what you're seeing. I've never had to do that before. This is a whole new wrinkle for me. Okay, now it's back. but I still don't see that on the screen. You're seeing Floridian and okay.
Yes, it's the.
Did it
It said
change to
oh, there it is.
Bible Gateway?
It's on Leviticus 5.
Pardon?
Yes, it's on Bible Gateway now.
It's
Leviticus.
on Bible Gateway. Okay, and we can play with that. I can live with this. This is probably the more popular source that you have on the internet, readily available for reading and doing some very preliminary study of the Bible. Do any of you use Bible Gateway?
I do.
Okay. Do you use it for anything more than just reading?
I use it for, sometimes I'll use it for the Bible study tools.
Okay. This is really nice because the format here is pretty simple. You simply type in here the passage you want to see, and you go over here and choose the translation you want. And they readily have this both English and Spanish as a choice, mainly because that's what I commonly use. But there are other alternatives if you want to go that way. And as you can see, there's a whole raft of English possibilities. And you can choose any one of those and hit the search, and immediately you're reading it in a different version. Under the study tools, you can do some advanced, what they're calling advanced search, and you have a couple of different possibilities. You can look up a passage, and here you can do it in multiple versions. So you can see 3, 4, 5 versions side by side. Now, actually, obviously, if you get very many open at the same time, the columns for each are going to be a little bit narrow. And so it's kind of hard to keep track of. But you could see them. You see, here you have the same text in 5 different versions that you can compare, read pretty easily, pretty quickly. The study tool also allows you to do this as a search where you look up not the text, but the words. Let me close this down. I don't know why I'm getting the ad there. Notice here, a couple of these you could actually listen to if you wanted to. Now I'm getting told my internet connection is unstable. I've got the whole Psalm 119 in here. And one nice thing about this one is it also gives you pretty quick information about each one of the versions at the bottom that some of the other sites don't do quite as readily as that. There's a list of other resources that you can go to. As well as some reading plans. And here's back to this advanced search, hopefully, where you can do keyword searches, which we're going to do we're going to start with next week. And here you put in the word, you select the version that you want, and here again you can have 2 or 3 versions if you wanted to, and it'll show you all the passages that word occurs in the version that you chose, so that you can see what's going on. The Bible study tools is basically the same thing. It's on the web, basically the same way. Here you choose the text, and you get the various parts of it. And then over here, you can choose, this is in that particular version, and you can choose the versions that you want to see. And you'll notice there's not as many of these in this website as there was in the other one. That's one of the main reasons I use the other one. But you have basically the same thing. You can search the Bible by the Bible text itself, or you can search the Bible by the words. And then the third version that you may be familiar with, anybody use YouVersion?
Yes, sir.
This has the same thing. This is the version on the computer. You can get these on your phone as an app as well. And you have basically the same kind of thing, choices of the language. This one is much more prolific in the languages it has, and it also has a wide variety of the English that you can choose. You can do parallels in this one like you can in the others. I'm covering up my stuff. And then the fourth one is the one that you saw a minute ago, the Pocket Bible. And this is done with an app that you can put on your computer or your phone or tablet. They have helps, some basic Bible dictionary. Most of these will also have that under Bible study tools. And all of these, as I noted on that sheet that I sent you, have a little price, subscription price, if you want full access to the various things. They run from $5 to $10 or so a month, depending on which version, which format you want to use, and how much access you want to various other tools, dictionaries, concordance, encyclopedia, topical index. This one has a topical index that's free. And here you're using Nade's Topical Bible. And you simply choose his topics. And then you have the Dictionary Bible Themes, which has the same kind of information on it. And usually to have some access to these, you have to have subscribed. 45, 50 bucks a year maybe, or you can pay it by the month. And you can have access to all of these helps. Now, these, of course, all require you to be online. So if, like tonight, the internet is messing up, you may want something else at your disposal. And there are a couple of possibilities there, also listed on the copy that I sent you. Let me bring it up. That's this one. Is this showing up for you?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Well, it says I'm sharing.
Still going
Still
on in
not up?
circle. No, it's not. There it is. It's up. Just came up.
Well, let's go back and
See it now.
try again. Share,
It just said came up.
pardon?
It was up.
finally coming up?
It was. Now it's not on
Okay.
there. It's not on here.
Right.
now.
Okay, this is the one I wanted to share anyway. Is this, okay, give it a minute, see. Obviously, I don't have the bandwidth that this system is supposed to be providing me tonight for whatever reason. You got anything yet?
Yes, everything you need is the topic.
Okay, everything you need for Bible study. Okay, these are programs that you put on your computer. So whether the internet's working or not, you can have access to it. Now, these first three programs that I'm going to show you, you can put on your computer. There's an app you can put on your phone, on your tablet that works with it as well. If you're on the internet with your computer, it's got you contact, it's updating and all that kind of stuff for you. If your internet goes dead, the program and the resources that you loaded on your computer are all on your computer. You just keep right on working. This one by Accordance is a very, very sophisticated program, and therefore it can be expensive. It was created for Mac machines years ago, but several years ago they finally gave up and created a Windows version, so you can get the Windows version too. You can download the program for free, but if you want access to anything except a couple of books, which you'd have to make it even really worthwhile, then there's a $45 registration, a $49.50 registration fee. And then if you want access to the books, then the money goes up to a couple $100, all the way to several $1,000s if you want to imbibe in their complete library. And it's an extensive library. I don't belong to this, so all I can do is show you some of the elemental nature of it, but you can see some of the prices, but you see what you get here is a whole set of books. This is an absolute bargain if you wanted to study this thoroughly. If you're doing very serious Bible study, you really need this Theological Dictionary of the New Testament in its one volume version, and you'd want to spend the money to get it. Cost you a little bit more than this to buy it unless you bought it used. But on this program, it's completely searchable. So all you have to do is ask it. I want to see what it says about this, that, or the other, and it starts telling you what pages they're on and takes you right to it. Logos is its counterpart. This was started for Windows and then finally gave up and added a Mac version. so anybody can use it.
I have a question.
Yes,
This is a lot of information, a lot of different resources,
yes,
which can kind of be overwhelming at first. But for me, I'm usually just reading the Bible,
right.
and then I pray to the Holy Spirit for interpretation for the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
But, and that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm a beginner at this. What would be the best thing for me as a beginner, and then as I get better to grow with these different programs?
Well, any one of these first three would be worth your spending the money on if you have the money. Uh, and I've got a version at the end that's considerably cheaper that does most of the word study issues for you with some old commentaries and dictionaries and that kind of thing. That, especially if you're pressed for income, would be worth getting. Once you found it too restrictive, then go to one of these other programs because they've been around for a number of years. They're going to stay around, and their resources are just so much more inclusive than the other options. But I'm going to show you in just a minute some simpler options for you to use introduction so that you're not having to spend a whole lot of money up front. But just so you know, these are here. And let me stop for just a second, see if I can do this. And let you see. Here's the one I have. Is it up yet with a Bible text in Romans?
No, it's not up.
Yes. And this
It's
is a
up
very
now.
It's
It's
this
there.
is
up.
a very sophisticated program. They give it to you free, but then of course you have to pay for the books. They've now started a subscription program, which means you get all the updates to the program whenever they get updated. If money is an issue, you could get this and use it for the few books that you wanted to have. Pay the subscription every 2 or 3 years to get the updates and not pay it for the years in between, because the material that you're paying for is yours. So it's on your computer and you can use it. The program runs. You don't have to have a subscription. You just don't get the updates when they come out. So that's all the subscription really does for you. And there are several possibilities that you can do all kinds. I mean, it's just endless what you can do. And over the years, of course, since I've had this, I've put considerable amount of money into it. So there's huge resources here. I've got several hundred commentaries that I can look at, numerous dictionaries, encyclopedias, all kinds of stuff that I can look at with this program.
Excuse me. Question. What program is this?
That's Logos.
Thank you.
And it doesn't cost you much to get started on it. And then you've got something that you can keep on running. Third option that I want to show you now is called Olive Tree, and it's like the others. Now let's see if I can find myself again. Yes, here we go. Let's see, I need to have this at the bottom. Here's the olive tree. They're not quite as involved as the other two, but they still have a small subscription fee for you to belong to them. It's like $3 to $20, depending on how much of their resources you want to make available to yourself. And these versions will be, you can put on your computer. The Bible Hub is one that's basically online. It does pretty much what the others do. If you want to spend the money, the subscription rate, again, a few dollars a month, $50 so a year. This one's pretty nice because you can see the versions right there at the top. They're actually one of the groups that did this version of the Bible. Let's see, here we go. They're calling it the Berean Standard Bible, and they were actually involved in it. It's really a revision of the American from 3 or 4 decades ago. The disadvantage, of course, is that you have to be online for this one. And then the blue letter one is another one. And here you can see some of the apps that you can have to go with it. Here's some of the study guides that you get to go with it. And this one is pretty much still free. They ask for donations, but you can actually get to it free. So for the next couple of weeks, when we're looking at word studies, this would serve you very well. Then last is the online Bible, which is a misnomer, because this was invented before there was an online, before there was an internet. And so you actually put it on your computer. Again, they'll let you download this for free. But if you want very many of the resources, they want you to do a major download or buy a CD, and then you're looking at $40 or $45, $55, depending on how you get the download. But this is then on your computer. When this first came out, it was a Mac version. Some guys created it in the very, very early days of Mac. I discovered today that their version, which was incredibly intuitive, is not available anymore because it's too complicated to upgrade it to the modern internet. But I used it for years and years and years. It's still available. Let me see if I can give you a sample of it. I still have it on my computer simply because it was so quickly usable. Let's see if it's here. I thought I saw it before. Yes, here it is. No, that's the one we just looked at. Well, I thought I had it open. Let's see what this one is. Nope, that's not it. Well,
Nothing on the screen. See nothing.
no, it's not.
Nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if I can do it. Okay, now maybe it's coming up. Share.
Yes, it's there.
Now it says it's sharing, is it?
Yes, it's sharing. We can see it.
Says something about
Okay,
network and internet.
Internet and Ethernet.
okay, here we go. It's
Mhm.
taking a minute. Here you go. This is just you see it now, Online Bible Edition 622. And this has here's the library that you get. And
Something over blocking it. I don't see that. It's blocking.
pardon?
Something over it is blocking. I don't see that.
Hmm.
It looks like it's trying to download something.
Yeah, it's still downloading. I think, although it's finally showing up on my computer. It may not have gotten to yours yet. And you can get various versions of the Bible that you can put in it. It has a few commentaries that you can, older ones that you can read for their comments. And you don't have to have all this up. You can close any of these windows. You can reduce it to one window, two windows, that kind of thing. I sent you on the paper that you got are the links for all of this stuff. So that you can look at any of these. And over the next couple of weeks, as we do some of this stuff, you can see which one, if any of these, is very helpful for you. The word studies, of course, that we're going to do first, still can be done with books. I did it for 40 years. You don't have to have a computer for it, but the computer will just do it for you so much faster, and therefore give you much more time to reflect on what you found, wrestle with it in terms of what it might mean and what you can do with it. So this is mainly a matter of your simply taking some time to spend on your computer with one of these programs. And what we're going to do next week is do the first basic part of a Bible study, and that is how can I find out how the Bible uses a word? Now, you can go to a dictionary and get a definition of the word. You can go to a Bible dictionary and get a discussion of how it's used in the Bible, depending on how detailed your Bible dictionary is. And as we're going to see, you can go deeper and deeper into more and more involved dictionaries in order to see the discussions that have been made over the years with this particular word. But at some point, you need to take your own look at how this word is used in the Bible. And so I want to know how this word is used in this particular range, which I can change, and which particular version of the Bible that I've got open that I want to look at. And so I'll look at it in this one. And then I tell it, okay, that's what I want to see. And it will open me a window. And here are the uses of that word. It turns out this is a New Testament word. And turns out it doesn't appear anywhere. Let me close a couple of these so we can expand that one. It doesn't occur in the New Testament till you get to 1 Timothy. And then it occurs a couple of times, 3, 4 times in 1 Timothy, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times. Then it occurs in 2 Timothy once, and then it occurs in Titus. And then Peter uses it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times in his second letter.
What word is being
The
inserted?
word is godliness.
Thank you.
The word is godliness. Now you could go to a book that has the English Standard Version. When they printed that, of course, this is a recent enough translation of the Bible that they did all that on computers. So making a concordance that showed where every one of those words shows up in a list was simple because all the information was already in the computer. All they had to do is tell the computer to tell them where all this appeared. So there's a book, a concordance that shows every place this word is used in the Bible that you could go to as a book, and you'd have a list, and it would show you these verses, and it would show a couple of words on either side of the word godliness. So you'd kind of get a little bit of idea of the phrase or the sentence it's in, and you could write those down, and then you could go look them up in the passage and see the context they were in. And then you could do some meditation and reflection on how that might be meaningful to you. With the computer, you see, it took me just a couple of seconds to type in the information that I wanted, and lo and behold, here it is. And in some of these Bible study programs, I can click on the verse, and it'll open me the context. Titus 1, here's Titus 1:1. Here's the passage over here. Let me get this one out of the way so these two can share. So now here's the whole passage. See, I can read the whole paragraph that occurs in, and it's there instantly for me. That's the advantage of one of these programs. We can do the same thing. Let me get out of this. We can do the same thing. In, see, that was olive tree. Well, did I close it?
We still weren't able to see that information. It still looked like it might have been downloading, but we couldn't see it. That Titus information and that other information.
Okay, okay. Let me give it some time to do that then. Is it coming back on for you?
Yes, there's
Yeah,
no,
it's
I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's the word search on the left. Here's the places where the word appears. And I clicked on one of them.
that seems like it would be good if you're writing some kind of paper, like on godliness, and you need to refer back to specific Bible verses on godliness.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
greatly.
And you see, I clicked on this this passage in 2 Timothy, and it opened 2 Timothy for me over here on the right. So now I can actually read the paragraph that this was in. It was in 3:5, and it's and put this over here out of my way so I can see what's. I have the whole book of 2 Timothy open, and when I first I've scrolled through it. But when I first clicked on it, it would actually take me to the passage. Oops, I've gone too far. You just do it again. Let me close this one. And here's the 2 Timothy 3:5. So I can look at the whole context that I want. And what it was doing was opening me a whole bunch of stuff here at the bottom that it thought was related to this. So now I have my whole paragraph that I can look at. And I can do that immediately. And now that I'm over here, you see, I can read it. I can read this in this version. I can read it in this version. I can read it in this version, which I happen to have on my system. This is not completely loaded with even all the versions that they give you for that very, very basic fee to get this. That's the advantage. And you see, with the more advanced programs, this one doesn't do it as simply, but most of the others do. I could not only be looking up a word, I could just ask a topic. Oh, I want to see what it teaches about being godly. And I might get verses where the word godly didn't even appear. But they were talking about people with those kind of qualities. You can do the same thing. Now let me stop this one and see if I can go back and pick up well, it was still there. No, it wasn't. Okay, hang on a second. Well, obviously, my attempt to get a broader band is not working today. We upgraded this at the church for SHBI a couple of years ago just for this purpose. And it clearly is not running up to speed today.
Oh, well. Bad.
Did we get a blank screen finally?
Nothing.
Nothing yet.
Okay, is this coming up, Bible Gateway?
No, it's just going around in circles still.
Are we still stuck with,
Nothing yet. Still trying to download.
Done anything yet?
No.
Well, now it says they can see the application. Can you?
We can see it.
Okay, here's the same thing done in Bible Gateway. And because I used a different text, I get some different places. And in Bible Gateway, you can do the same thing. You see, you can check this and get the immediate few verses around it. You can get the whole full chapter, or you can call it for some other translations of this same verse. So you can do the same thing there. So you can go to one of these programs, Bible Hub, Blue Letter Bible, Pocket Bible, any of the YouVersion Bible, will do the same thing. So for next week, pick a word. Don't pick a super common word like love or save, maybe, but pick a word, or if you're real ambitious and the one you pick first comes up with 5 or 6 occurrences, try it with another word. And try one of these systems to do the search for a word in the Bible. And you can print this, and then you could either send it to me by snail mail, scan it. Some of the versions will actually print it out in a Word form, a Word document. So you can simply attach it to an email and let me see what you find. And since our internet system is certainly not working, let me see if there's some questions, and then we'll call it quits. While you're pondering that, let me check to make sure. I got everybody who's present on the roll here. And, let's see. I didn't get Walker. Manez. Who else ended up? Anybody? Carlos. Dion, Lynette.
It's John Schrubar. I'll send you an email, let you know I attended via Zoom.
Okay. I got you on here, I think. Yes, I've got you marked.
I'll send it anyway. It helps me track
Sure.
whether I attended Zoom or YouTube.
Pardon?
It helps me for myself,
Sure.
whether it was Zoom or YouTube. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Where do you want us to go to select a word to look up?
You can go to any one of these that we've shown tonight that you think you'd like to work with for a while. Looking up some words. If you run into a problem with using one of them, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. We could even do a Zoom if we had to help you get past it. I'll let you pick a word. I'm going to have one for us next week for us to look at, but I'll let you try your hand at this. See what you can come up with. If you put in a word and use the whole Bible, and you end up with a couple hundred, then just narrow down how much of the Bible, Book of Psalms, the prophets, the Gospels, the four Gospels, the letters of Paul, or you can regulate how broadly you want this to go. And if you have a word that appears all the way through the Bible several hundred times, an important way to study it is to narrow it down and see, well, how is it used in the first 5 books of the Old Testament, in the law section? Do the poets use it differently? Does it come up with slightly different color when the prophets use it? There are a couple of words in the Old Testament that actually turn on their head. In the early part of the Old Testament, they mean one thing, and later in the Old Testament, they're referring to an entirely different group of people. It's the same term, same word, but different people. Early in the Old Testament, people of the land seems to refer to the aristocrats. By the time you get to Ezra and Nehemiah, the way the word's being used, it sounds like they're talking about the riffraff, not the aristocrats. Yeah, but it's the same term. Don't be surprised. That's one of the reasons for looking at words, is not just what their general definition is, what their meaning is when people generally discuss them in a dictionary, but how do the writers really end up using this word? And that will color then how you understand it in any particular passage. So when you're looking at a passage in Paul and a word like godliness is being used several times, it wouldn't be helpful, wouldn't be necessarily determinative how Matthew or Mark used that word, if they did, because Paul might be using it in a special way. So don't worry about having 400 or 500 occurrences of a word. Just get a couple of dozen. Half of them, this one you see didn't have but 6 or 8 uses. And it's an important word. It's obviously a significant word, but didn't get used that many times. That might be telling us something. Then once you've gotten those occurrences of the word, see if you can see some patterns of how it's used. Is it only used of God? Is it only used of men? Is it or women? Or only used of animals? Does it always seem to appear in a good context, or is it always in a bad context? See what organization you can bring to the word. And those are the kind of things that we'll look at, talk about next week when you find a word and get some uses for it. Okay? Any other question? You all have the rest of the evening, a good evening, and hopefully we can get Comcast on the ball and find out what's going on with our system. See you next week.
Peace.
Good night.
Bless.
Good night.
Good night.
And for people like me,
You can use a concordance.
well, I found the passage in Second Timothy. The word godliness, the whole thing, beginning with verse 1. Perfect description of us